Good morning. I hope you guys having an amazing day so far. It is Tuesday, August 20th. It is currently 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time out here in Pennsylvania. Let me roll down my windows. Damn, the sun is coming through on this side or out here, and it's feeling really good. It was kind of chilly this morning when I left my house because I'm currently now parked in a garage, just waiting till it's almost time to walk in and start my shift. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to allow a little bit of the time for you guys to join the chat so we can get this started. So the last live stream I tried to record, I was having some audio issues, and I couldn't get anybody in the chat to uh, confirm with me whether they could hear me properly. But now it seems like I'm getting the positive ones. So I checked my settings, and it looks like everything is fine. And of course, I'm using my cell phone to record this live stream from my job already at the garage. But because I came in a little early, it means I got a little more time to spend with you guys before I go in. But again, I'm just going to allow a little more time so we can get this started. Please do me a favor. Let me know in the comment section where you're tuning in from, and please hook me out with a like for the YouTube algorithm, because I'm gonna keep beating the dead horse on this topic. Because if you don't do that, then YouTube is not gonna share this video any further. All right. Like I said, the only support I get it come from my subscribers. So the only way you get to support me is by hitting that like button and comments in the comment section down below, and let me know what your opinions are. All right, guys. I don't get on here asking for money or anything like that. Like I always said, and I'll say it, because some people, for some reason, they get offended when you talk about how comfortable you are financially, because they feel like you need to beg so they have a subject to talk about. I'm not one of those guys. But if somebody feel like they want to bless me with something, I'm not going to be rude. I ain't going to turn it down, but I'm not going to be the first one asking you for anything, because I know these topics are very important, especially for the African communities, more specifically living in diaspora. We have this sort of conversation so we learn about each other and know where we all stand. Um, in terms of doing business in Africa and things like that. All right. So without further ado, or wasting any more of your time, I'm gonna get this started, because I should be heading in roughly maybe the next half hour, which gives me enough time to have this conversation with you guys. So you probably clicked on this live stream because you saw the title and you were curious what I'm about to talk about. Well, you're here for the right reason, and I'm going to try the best that I can to provide insights on what I think, which this is 100% my opinion. Feel free to let me know yours in the comment section, so we can have a very civilized and mature discussion in the comment section down below. If I say something you don't agree with, there is no need for personal attacks. You can always give me your perspective and we can have that discussion as adults. All right. So without further ado, let's jump straight to today's video. Guys, if you watch the news, you know exactly what's going on, what's happening around the world. Things aren't looking good. We see a war breaking out in every axis of the world as we speak. In the Middle East, in Africa, in Europe. There is no safe place as we speak right now. However, there are things that may be done to circumvent some of these events that are whether directly or indirectly impacting our lives. We're not the ones making decisions on what's going to take place in certain part of the world. And say what I'm saying? If certain countries just decide to destabilize others, but we know us as Africans coming from the continent of Africa, we are all in the diaspora, living in numerous countries. But we also know that our motherland needs us back. This is one of the things that we should all keep in mind every time we are getting on a plane moving abroad. I am not going to encourage somebody to leave Africa and never return. But if that's the decision that they made, I do respect that. But I would appreciate when they look back and realize the potential that the continent of Africa has, and they consider going back to do business and probably settling down for good. Keep in mind, when slavery started, or when they took our family away from us, they took one of the best to go do free labor. All right, so now it is kind of continuing in the modern world, but we are conditioned to do that due to the um, economic impact or economic, instability that most African countries are subject to. So it's forcing the youth to find alternatives elsewhere. But then when they go out, they realize that the better life, the comfort that they were looking for abroad was a fairy tale. Now they want to turn around and reconsider their decisions. But we could all stop that together as Africans living in the diaspora. The best time to invest in the motherland, it is now. Because the things that are happening around the world, there is no guarantee that it's going to stop anytime soon. And the economy is going to get worse even further. So to be prepared for what is about to come, it is safe to secure your future by investing in the motherland. Sooner or later, we will see movements in different countries, just like one that is happening now in the UK, where we see black people or minorities being hunted down. They're not wanted there. These people have always expressed their intentions in multiple ways. It's only a matter of time before it gets to you. Just because you were not touched when those things were happening, it doesn't mean it will never happen to you. You always learn from what other people been through, and look at your current situation and ask yourself questions. So what if it does happen? So we all have to consider the what if scenarios. That's why we need to take actions that will protect us from those kind of things. Me personally, I believe in investing in real estate specifically, among other things, especially in the motherland, because land is value. Land is true wealth. The value of the land increase every year, right? Which means the more lands you own, the more money you potentially have in the future. But you just have to invest in it. Investments could be short term or long term, depending on what you believe in. I personally believe in long term goals, okay? That's why when I decided that I was going to invest every dime that I make here at my job back to my country, right? Because I know it will come a time when it will be very, very needed. First of all, I I'm from Africa, all right? But I do live here in the US. I like it here, but not as much as I like it back home. But am I ready to go back right now? Absolutely not. I'm not in that position yet. Would I like to move back? Hell yeah. When that time comes, you'll be the first people to know about it. And I am not messing around because all my resources, all my money is getting sent there consistently to build, to make sure when I do my evaluation after a certain period of time that I had set for myself, if I can argue that, okay, I'm financially free from what it looks like, For what it's worth, I pack my bag and I leave. For my mental health, freedom, and peace of mind. Let me tell you something. There is nothing wrong with living abroad. There's nothing wrong at all. We all left Africa for one reason or another. However, there are people who still believe that you can only live a better life if you move to a Western nation or to the Western world. A lot of Western countries, they don't have it like that. There are a few of them, but there are also ups and downs in every single one of them. There are a lot of ups and downs living in America. If you want, I may make a whole video and create episodes about that, but I ain't got that kind of time. Maybe when I have more free time, I'll just talk about those. You understand what I'm saying? Africans, especially living in the diaspora, need to wake up and start realizing that we have a much bigger challenge in front of us than the reality we think we're living. How many of us out here can stand up and say, yeah, I've been here this long and I made it? No, brother. No, brothers and sisters. We know the reality out here. You may lie to your friends, family members who haven't been here, who don't know better, but you can't lie to me. No, you can't, because I know it all. I know what's going on. I know what people go through to pay them bills. I know what kind of efforts we all have to put in to actually survive out here. It is tough. I've always said this in my videos. People think the more money you make, the better off you are. No, that's not true at all. The contrary, the more money you make, the more problems you bring. It's about the decisions you make. It's about how you are trying to live a new reality to better yourself. Me personally, I've decided that every dime that I make, I would just live within my means and make sure the extra cash that I have gets invested back home. So when I am able to start collecting, then I will just start maximizing my profits from there. And then when I feel like I'm in a much better financial position where I can move to Africa or spend a longer period of time without financially being affected here in the US, then that's when I start talking, okay, I think now I'm good. Let me see out here. There's some comments going on. Oh, you're watching from Seattle. Damn, I've been in Seattle before. Really nice place. I'm looking forward to going back there. Actually, great. Oh yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, you gotta you gotta do what you gotta do. But I appreciate you. Come back later, finish the video. But bye, brother. And I hope you have an amazing day. I know it's kind of too early, but you gotta catch your sleep. I respect that. Thanks for tuning in, though. All right, so despite what other Africans may think of Africa as of now, whether we like it or not, you want to move there. But because you're not ready to move there now doesn't mean you cannot move there. You just have to create a plan, okay? The only way you get to do that is to start your investments. The earliest you start, the better. The moment I realized that it was going to be impossible to come up with the money or a certain amount to just do it all at once, it was not realistic. I made peace with the facts that I need to do it in a more incremental way, right? Progressively. So when the time is right, then you can go ahead and move out there. Guys, life was never meant to be easy. I don't know your situations, but we all probably have different history. Excuse me, we have different stories to tell. We came from different families. I'm the type of guy who don't believe in handouts. I don't care how much money my parents had, but I want to be able to create my own empires. So I don't have family members coming after me claiming that This is what dad or mommy left behind. It belongs to all of us. Please don't ever make that kind of mistake. I at one point dealt with family members, and I found out the hard way. I actually have tons of videos where I discuss not doing business with family members on my channel. So feel free to go back and check those out. They're really, really great informations, and I would highly encourage you to do the same thing too. You can help family members out, but don't ever think or convince yourself that doing business with family members is what you need to do. No, you would you will break apart from your family, just to be honest with you. Back to the subjects now. There is no better time to invest in Africa but now, because whatever it is that's going on around the world that's causing inflation, all right, high costs of labor now, Red Seas being getting hostile day after day, Yemen attacking ships coming from the US, UK, all the other allies, right? That's more supportive of Israel in its conflicts, or vice versa in Europe. It's creating a lot of instability around the world. Don't be surprised that things are very expensive in grocery stores. It's because the war is playing a major role about this. Certain countries are sanctioned. Their products are not allowed to enter certain markets. These are all actions caused by human beings. Decisions that these global elites are making, it is directly impacting our lives. But you could also create your own personal empire where you will not be impacted. These decisions will continue to be made because these global elites are thirst for power. They don't think about anything else but to maintain power, to continue to control the narrative, to control the world. But you, as an individual who came from the continent of Africa, living abroad, you have a saying in your personal life, and also you have the power to determine where you go from there. Would you rather stay here and raise your children here despite all the political and social wars that are happening here, creating confusion among children about their gender, racism, all these other issues that we all experience here in the West? We just have to accept and realize maybe where we come from wasn't so bad. It's just because you didn't have it, that's why you thought it was bad. But now that you're out, you are able to make certain amount. Now that you realize maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but it only was that bad because you didn't have it. That's why when a lot of people, most specifically Africans, move to the West, they get a job, they start making money, they, earning in currencies that are more, I'd say powerful, among the most powerful in the world. They now start changing their perspective. What was your very first, let me ask this question. What was your very first impression when you visited your home country for the first time after spending a certain amount of years abroad? What was the first thing that came through your mind? It could either be like you thought things were much cheaper, you thought you can get more for your buck while you were there, because that was my impression when I first visited Congo in 2014 after being in America for almost 3 years back then, right? I was like, damn, like, I can't believe I just spent, like, let's say $20 after eating out at a restaurant with 6 or 7 other friends, when I know the same amount of people at the restaurant like that will cost me way more money. Yes, brother, I do have Instagram. I'll actually let me see. Well, from my phone, I don't have an option to put it in the comment section though. Let me see. Can I find a way to do that? Some messages. You know what? Shoot. All right, let me see if I can pull a trick out here. Somebody asked you for my Instagram. All right, let me. Well, because I don't have a system, but I can pull some tricks, guys. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to just write my Instagram and show it to you right now. All right, I'll do it right quick. That is my. All right, let me fix. This is why. All right, if you're still there, that's my Instagram. I hope you see it. It's Muyombe underscore 100. It's Muyombe underscore 100. So there you have it. If you're watching and you're from Congo, you're watching this, so you know Bayombe. So I'm Muyombe 100%. My parents are Bayombe 100%. They're from Bakongo, from Congo Central. All right. So I hope you got it. And that's my Instagram right there. If you want to reach out, you can reach out. That'd be great. Uh, Thanks for tuning in, though. So, where was I? All right. So you know that there is a lot more we can do, but sometimes we just don't realize the power that we could potentially bring on the table. A friend of mine's mother-in-law passed away on Friday. Yeah, reach out to me on Friday. So we went there with other friends. We kind of assisted him and his wife. We were having conversations, and then we started talking business out of nowhere, just out of the blue. We started having conversations about doing business, maybe shipping items from the U.S. Shipping containers down there or whatever. It's not that because people don't have money. It's because we are not united and we don't trust each other. Let's be honest about that. A lot of Africans don't want to do business among themselves, excuse me, because there's always a tendency that one, oh, just, oh, that's great. Lengini ba Congo, listen, I miss Congo Central. When I think about my days in Mwanda and Boma, oh my God, it makes me want to go back. And next time I'm going to Congo, I'll be going to Boma and Mwanda as well. Those are one of my favorite cities to visit in Congo Central. So that's great. For pig farming, absolutely amazing. So I'll be talking about my pig farm probably in the next video. I got some updates for you guys, so stay tuned for that. So damn, I keep losing train of thoughts. Yeah, it's probably still 2 morning. That's why I'm drinking coffee, so I can get my thoughts straight. um we okay, I was talking about doing business there, like shipping containers and stuff. So after having this conversation with my folks, I personally told them, listen, I know we don't trust each other. We pretend as though we trust each other as friends. I'll come over your place, we have a beer, we have drinks, we talk about Congo, we have different conversations. When it comes down to doing business, that's when problems start. You may have 10, 6,000, whatever the amount you available in your bank account, but you feel like collaborating with somebody else, it jeopardizes your finances. No, it does not. People will rather take risk on their own because they know if things go south, they will blame it on somebody else. And we were just randomly talking. I'm like, what about if we're talking about doing containers, right? Towards the end of the year, everybody filed their income taxes. We all get a little something, right? That's probably the best time to do something like that. We could ship to containers and put items that we know are going to bring us some profits, and then we keep it rolling We should be able to at least ship 3, 4, or even 5 containers throughout the year if we stay consistent. Everybody agree with me. But now it's a matter of time. We're going to see whether we're going to be able to pull it off, or it's just people were talking, under the influence of alcohol, because we all were there around the same table having a drinks and sympathizing with our friend who just lost his mother-in-law, right? But at the same time, I know we've tried this multiple times in the past. It didn't work out because people always have the propensity of being the leader of something or of a subject that they don't even understand. And that could be very problematic, because if you are uncertain that you can manage something, probably seek advice from people who have experience in that area. Then after getting, having a mentor, you can go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do. But people somehow they think they can just go in blindfolded and make things happen. That's not how that works, unfortunately. We need to start, or implement a system or a strategy that, before getting into something, give it a little more time. Seek advice from people who have done it prior to you and see the benefit of it, and learn about the drawbacks before you go ahead and pull the trigger, you know? And hopefully this works out, and we'll see how that's going to go. I started my farm single-handedly, and it's still challenging up until now. Things are going better with my farm right now, but there's still a lot of challenges right in front of me, and I acknowledge those challenges. But as far as running things, I think I'm getting it under control. I'm not there on the field, boots on the ground, because of my injury. When I got hurt, I had to postpone my trip. So lucky me, I have people who are working 24/7 to make sure things are running smoothly. That's why I'm paying my guys who are on the farm, making sure they're well taken care of, so that they don't turn around and steal from me or do me harm while I'm abroad. You know what I'm saying? And things seem to be going just fine. The pigs are growing bigger. The pigs are healthy. I had the vet just visit the farm, a few days ago, and things are looking great. Their vaccines are due, and treatments, I think, by the end of this week. And I'm making sure everything is getting done the way it's supposed to be, you know? And that's how you take care of things. You take care of business. Eventually, it will pay off. And at the same time, I'm building my property. I'm build at least the 1 bedroom apartments that I announced that I was building. So every time I visit Congo, I don't have to spend over 1,600 that I always do every time I'm in Kinshasa. Those are expenses that are adding up, like, whereas I could keep that money into my bank account and use that money maybe to build another structure for maybe poultry farming or something else within the farm. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we need to start thinking ahead, thinking bigger. If we don't do that, then how good are we? This is not a good way of planning things. So now, as I'm growing older, I'm maturing up, I start to see things through a different lens. And I want you to do the exact, same thing. Because if we fail, then we're not going to have a story to tell for people that are looking up to us. We have a lot of our family members, nephews, nieces, who look at us differently and respect us. They hope that we could do better things that they can also follow, right? You know what I'm saying? They want to follow our footsteps, but in order for them to follow our footsteps and respect things that we're doing, they need to see us succeeding. When you are just battling and for just, you've been on one spot for a very long time and you're not making any progress, how do you think people are going to look up to you? People all to follow footsteps when they see you doing something positive and it's working. You know what I'm saying? I talk about things on my channel while I'm getting it done. So I have people now who have started the farm who are doing pig farming or whatever because they see me do it and I believe in it. I'm putting efforts, and the work. They see the results. They think, well, we can do it too. And I also talk about challenges that that are expected. So you are prepared when you're going into the same field. You know the expectations that's right ahead of you. And that's how we should be doing things. We learn from one another. Now, everybody who's watching this channel is necessarily interested in getting into pig farming, but there are people who want to invest back in Congo or back in Africa in general, but just they're looking for motivation. They want to see somebody else is doing it. You understand what I'm saying? We live in this era where connection is very important. If you surround yourself with the right people, that's it. Brothers and sisters in the diaspora from the continent of Africa, I'm telling you, there is no better time to invest in the motherland than now. Don't wait till World War III breakout. That's how we start. Because we are on the brink of World War III. It could start today, tomorrow. Hell, who knows? Who some lunatics there is about to do. We don't have to always operate in the same manner. Wait until somebody else do it first before you go ahead and do it. No, believe in yourself. When we all go to school, right? Do you have to wait for your colleagues, your classmates to confirm or validate your answers for your own personal grade? You went to school because you are smart, right? But through studying, you know your answers. You have to be confident, right? So the level of confidence also needs to be used in real life. You can listen to people's advice. There's nothing wrong with that. But the last decisions will always come from you. And if you make a decision based upon somebody's advice and it doesn't work out, don't go and blame that person. Don't blame them. That person is just advising you based on their experience, and they give you other scenarios or whatever, but your scenario will not be the same as theirs. Evaluate the advice that the person gave you. Try to apply it to your current situation to get the best outcome you can possibly get. But if it doesn't work out, not because the advice was bad, maybe you did something wrong, you need to revisit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're all looking for a second opinion, but the last decision is always coming from ourselves. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are unable to make certain decisions, seek advice, but still be mindful. At the end of the day, the decision or the last decision will always come from you. So that's why you need to build that level of confidence so you don't end up blaming other people for your failure. If I fail in a certain area, I blame myself for it, but it's not going to be so much so to discourage me from pursuing my goal. I'm going to circle back and learn from my own personal mistakes and then go back the second time, do it differently, and over until I'm successful. A prime example of that is when I started the pig farm the first time. I did everything. I made my mistakes, but things were working out just fine. The reason I stopped the first time for as long as it took before I went back to it is because of things that was outside of my control, things that I couldn't control. It was an instability, security issues, and blah, blah, blah. I talk about the conflict, and it was for people's safety. So we backed away from it. Things got better, and I went right back. Things are working out just fine right now. And see what I'm saying? So you could do the same thing too. Brothers and sisters, let's all join forces. Let's go invest in the motherland. We don't do it, we're not gonna get nobody else to do it for us. I do appreciate you tuning in and giving me your attention. It really means a lot. Let me know where you tuned in from. Drop it in the comment section down below if you have a different opinion than what I discuss, because I'm 10 minutes away from starting my shift. Parked here in the garage. I'm about to walk in. Just to announce, I went back to work last Friday. I got a doctor's note from my orthopedic and a therapist stating that I could go back to work light duty, and I have some restrictions that I'm still dealing with. That's why I'm not wearing no uniform. I'm working in the office until I complete my physical therapy. Then I'll be back to work full duty. But hopefully, when that time comes, it will be almost time for me to fly to Congo. But I will keep you posted on that one too. So stay tuned when that time comes. And I'll be discussing other things. Um, I just don't want to spoil it yet, but I should be traveling to Congo before the end of the year. But I will let you guys know why reason. Of course, doing business is one thing, and checking on the farm is also needed. But there is another good reason why I should be traveling there before the end of the year, because after I got injured, I knew I wasn't going to go till next year. But something came up that will require me to fly to Congo before the end of the year. It could be as soon as October or maybe November. I don't know yet, but I will keep you guys posted on that one. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Tuesday. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. Peace out. Have a fantastic day. See you next time.